Hello guys, Paidiá. Today is Halloween and I think there exists no better day to make a review about a horror game. Because Resident Evil is the first survival horror game I played, I decided to make a review about the Game Boy title. Resident Evil Gaiden is the first and only official title released for the Game Boy Color, and what should I say? Either you like it or you hate it. The story is very interesting. An underground organization was founded to bring Umbrella to an end, and Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2 is sent to investigate a passenger ship which is rumored to have a new BOW on board. After losing contact to the HQ, Barry Burton, an old friend of Resident Evil 1, got the mission to find him. This is the point where you start the game. Because of the game's ending, it gets completely ignored and doesn't count to the main story of the Resident Evil universe, but it would play after Resident Evil 3. Like in the most of the old Resident Evil games, there is a lot of backtracking to find different keys to reach new areas. Puzzle elements are, as far as I know, not included. Compared to the home console games where the player has a third-person perspective, the Game Boy game is a little bit different to them. The main view is a top-down perspective for exploring, which changes to an ego perspective in combat mode. The graphic is something between good and bad. The cutscenes are quite good, and when you are in ego perspective it is amazing, but in the top-down view the graphic is crappy. Okay, you can see a difference between the enemies, but it is not satisfying at all. Your starting point is outside on the second floor and it takes not long to encounter the first zombies. I don't know what you think, but for me it looks like a bad drawing of the Thriller music video. You have 3 different characters to control, but to be honest, it makes no sense except of the storyline. Because during exploring it makes no difference who you choose, and also not in combat mode because you can only attack with one of them in the same time. The disadvantage of this system is that the enemy can freely choose which person gets attacked and you need to take care of all 3 health bars. Like in other survival horror games, you have to take care of your ammo, and it's better to use the knife for the first zombies, or if you have the chance to avoid the enemies, use this chance. You need every single shot at the end of this game. There is a special tactic to provoke the zombies to lead them in different directions to go around them. As usual in Resident Evil games, you find different herbs to refill your health. The controls are quite good. You have an inventory where you can decide which weapon to use to manage your health and to use the keys or key elements in the game. You can also use the inventory while fighting, but the game will not pause there. And if you take too much time, it is possible to receive hits during the weapon change. There are many different enemies, and the farther you get, the harder they get. The strength level is different from zombie to zombie, and during my gameplay I wasn't able to see any repeating attack pattern. The female zombies and the boss BOW are the only enemies which are able to poison you. When you are poisoned, you need to take a special herb to stop health draining, or it reduces to a certain point. The saving system is, in my opinion, very uncommon. There are, I think, I'm not sure, around 15 save points in the game, which get activated when you reach different points in the story. There is also a continue system implemented in the game, but please don't ask when the game decides to create a checkpoint. You have to fight the same boss 7 times, which is not the variety a Resident Evil gamer is used to. But Resident Evil 3 proves that an awesome boss enemy, who is as popular as Nemesis, can save this. Spoiler alert! Okay, sorry, this was not the spoiler alert. Now my spoiler alert. The BOW from Resident Evil Gaiden isn't so fascinating. My playtime was around 1 hour and 20 minutes, but I know where I need to go to. One big critic point from my side is the random enemy spawning and that you don't find enough ammo in the last part of the game compared to the enemies you encounter. This wouldn't be a big deal, but the final boss is not beatable without ammo. I was forced to reload 2 times from a certain safe spot to change my strategy to have enough at the end. I don't know who decided this, but it would have been easily possible for me to beat the boss with the knife with my remaining herbs. As I mentioned before, the graphic is acceptable. The playtime is very long when you play it for the first time, and the complete plot makes you want to play until the end. An official port of the first Resident Evil on the Game Boy Color was leaked, but the development was stopped at 90% because of technical issues and too long delay. The content I played was amazing, and it is a pity that the game has never been finished. So this was Resident Evil Gaiden for the Nintendo Game Boy Color. The negative critics the game received back then are not fair in my opinion, because the game is not that bad. I hope you enjoyed my video. If so, I would be pleased with thumbs up. If you have any wishes or questions, please leave a comment down below. Andio, see you next time.